Hello, welcome to PMO Learning. Hopefully you decided to take some e-learning course with us, and now what I'd like to do is tell you how to get the most out of your e-learning. There's a few things that we'd like to take you through just before you start, and the very first one is all about preparation. We know that when it comes to organising e-learning, the best thing that you can do is have a study plan. You're going to be doing a course over a number of days, of weeks, however it suits you. So it's best to have a plan in place and help you to be able to stick to your plan. The other great thing about e-learning is that you can do it literally anywhere, but we advise you that you need to make sure you've got your study area ready. Not only is that about having a PC and being comfortable in the environment, it's obviously making sure you have enough Wi-Fi and broadband in order to be able to do your online courses. The other great thing about doing e-learning, it's almost like you're going back to school. One of the things that I love to do when I'm doing e-learning is to treat myself to either a new notebook, coloured pens, actually getting ready like it's a first day at school again. One of the things I also like to do though is do a lot of note taking on an iPad. So that might be your preference as well. What you'll need to be thinking about is just getting ready for your course. You're going to be taking lots of notes and just choosing the right kind of thing that's going to be helpful for you, not only as you go through the course, but also to help you revise when it comes to doing your examination. The other thing that you also need to be thinking about right in the preparation stage is making sure that you've got all your downloaded materials and documentation that's being given to you as part of your e-learning experience. Make sure you get those printed off before you get started. One of the second things that you can be doing in terms of getting the most out of your e-learning is making sure that you set your learning objectives. That's all about trying to understand why is it that you're doing the course. And it's even better if you actually write these down. So that's page 1 of your new notebook, is to actually write down your learning objectives about why you're doing this course and what it is that you're looking to get out of it. Once you write these things down, it all starts to become a little bit more real. And as you go through the course, you'll find that you'll be able to look back on it at the end to find out whether you've actually met the objectives that you thought you wanted to do meet before you started out. The third part about how to get the most out of your e-learning is to make sure that you read, listen and watch. So with PMO Learning, there's a lot on the e-learning for you to take in. There's a lot to read, there's videos to watch, there's exercises to take part in. Various modules will include things to click through and start to help you to learn the material better. What you should do is make sure that you do it a number of times. So for each session or module that you're taking part in, listen to it first of all, or read it first of all, and then redo it. So keep going over and over until you've managed to take the points on board. The other thing that we also recommend is just note-taking itself. With a course like this, you need the notes that you'll be taking in order to help you revise for your examination. One of the things that I love to do is make sure that my notes look interesting, so they're not just blocks of text. So I will have things like icons and pretty little pictures and a change of colour in terms of the notes that I'm taking. So think about how you can, it's almost like being back at school again, how can I put things down in note form that's going to help me in order to revisit when I'm ready to revise. The fourth thing to help you get the most out of your e-learning is don't be tempted to skip. There's a lot in e-learning which is not necessarily just about reading text and looking at videos and taking part in exercises. There's also time to reflect. As you're learning the material, you don't need to rush through it. Think about how you can take it slowly and give you a chance to reflect on the materials and the things that you're learning about. That way, that a lot of the things that you are picking up are more likely to stay in here. Another great piece of advice for getting the most out of your e-learning is to find a buddy, if you can. So we've got lots of people that are going through the e-learning as well at this moment in time. So maybe there's somebody that we could put you in touch with and you can buddy up and learn it together. That's one of the great things about doing e-learning like this. There's people that are from all over the world that are doing this kind of training at the same time. And it's always good to be able to have somebody that you can talk to about some of the modules that you might be taking part in right now, or some of the materials that you're learning. So buddying is a really great way to do it. If you can't find anybody, perhaps you've got another colleague that wants to do it at the same time, even better. The other thing that you can do is try and find somebody who's already done the course. Perhaps they'll be open to you approaching them and asking them a few questions about some of the things you've been learning about. It's certainly something to consider. The other thing that you should also be thinking about is how you read around a subject. There's a lot that goes on in a course like, for example, the P3O Foundation, which means that you can stop and pause your training at any time to think that I'd quite like to know a little bit more about this part. Perhaps it might be a little Google search. Or if you're taking part in a course like P3O that comes with a manual, maybe you should think about buying that. It allows you to read more into some of the stuff that's not necessarily as part of your e-learning materials. And the final thing that you can be doing to get the most out of your e-learning is get involved. So for example, here at PMO Learning, we have forums for each of our e-learning courses. They allow you to post questions, but you'll also see what some of the other learners are asking about too. So make sure that you utilise any kind of tool like that as you progress through your e-learning. You'll find that you'll be able to do your e-learning at a pace that suits you, and it's all down to planning. And it's all about making sure that you're ready to go, nice quiet space, got your plan in place, got your new notepad, got all those colourful pencils, thinking about your note taking, and just basically enjoying it.